And we're going to start with our satellite picture, and you can see a couple of important systems showing up off the west coast. This little swirl just off of California is bringing some showers down here. It is going to slide across the country and be an important piece of what will eventually become a severe weather potentially outbreak over the eastern, central and eastern portions of the country. That's going to be driven by this strong system, as you can see, taking aim at the Pacific Northwest today. A strong trough is going to move onshore, and a strong jet stream is going to move along with it and carve out a big trough here in the central portion of the country that creates a very intense cyclone over Colorado and moves on off toward the lakes. And that's going to spawn all kinds of weather hazards, and we'll get into that in a minute. But you've got some high clouds streaming across the northern tier of the country, a couple of little systems up here bringing high clouds and light precipitation to some areas. And then we've got this swirl that affected much of the southeast over the last couple of days. It's moving on off into the Atlantic, and that will get out of our hair, but it's just a little low pressure system that's developed there. And then our radar image is fairly tame. We've got some showers working in with that system into California, some other showers, and maybe some light snow up in the higher elevations up here in Seattle, light snow and rain across Montana, and really nothing else across the entire country. It's going to be a nice day for most of the country. Temperatures are starting out on the mild side. We can see 40s and 30s across the border with some 20s up here in the northern plains. 30s up into northern New England. Everybody else is in the 50s, approaching 60 in spots, especially as you get on down into Florida. So it's going to be a nice, mild day across the country. Time to enjoy that weather when you get off work. Now, on Wednesday, the National Weather Service, or the Storm Prediction Center rather, has issued a slight risk over the Arklatex for severe weather. That system that we looked at on satellite is going to trek across the southern tier of the country. There's going to be a little bit of instability here, some cold air aloft, so that contrast is going to give you a potential for some severe weather with mainly wind and hail. No real tornado threat here, not a big severe weather outbreak potential either. That slides off into Mississippi and Alabama, and the threat seems to be reduced there as we get into Thursday and Friday. But that's just a table setter, folks. We've got the main event coming up later this week into Friday through the weekend, and we're going to take a look at all of that here in just a moment. Now, your surface map, your nice little Atari surface map, most of the activity is centered on the west coast with the system off the southwest and the system off the northwest. A little chillier up here across the northern plains into the Great Lakes behind this cold front. Everybody else is nice and mild today. Tomorrow, as we get into the afternoon hours, you'll see that severe weather threat develop out here. Critical fire conditions down in Texas where it's very dry and the winds are picking up. Those systems continue. That system up in the northwest continues to move on, and you'll see a large area of heavy snow, rain along the coast, mixed precipitation into the intermountain regions, and then a little clipper bringing some light snow up into the northeast. As we get into Thursday afternoon, really starting to see things take shape out here west. We've got a large area of precipitation. Not everybody's going to see rain or snow, but certainly there will be spots of precipitation out here. The higher elevations are going to see snow, and some areas are going to see very heavy snow up into the Rockies and the Sierra Nevadas. You guys are going to pick up plenty of snow there. Just some showers and storms possible in the Tennessee Valley and the lower Mississippi Valley. And so you're going to see potential for some snow there or thunderstorms there, and then a little bit of shower activity or potentially mixed with snow up here in New England. Now, our temperature outlook for the next couple of days, pretty much a carbon copy of today, and the next 3 days are all going to look about the same. You've got a little chillier weather up here in the Rocky Mountains and the Pacific Northwest. Chilly across the border, if you can call it that. It's actually above normal for your area for this time of year. And then 60s and 70s, even 80s down here in Texas today, this afternoon. Tomorrow, much of the same pattern. Chilly out west, chilly across the border up into New England. That's going to moderate as we get through the week. And then 70s and 80s across the southern tier of the nation. And then Thursday afternoon, same story. The return flow ahead of this new trough that's forming out here is going to bring up mild conditions and dew points out of the Gulf to some of these areas to set the stage for severe weather later on in the week. So very mild for much of the nation. This will continue through the week and into the following week. So we're going to see mild east, cool west as we get on out in time. But that is your 2-minute drill, and so hopefully that helps you out as you go through your work week over the next few days.